Okay, in this video, I want to show you guys how to figure out a payment schedule for 3 months of your mortgage. So what that means is for each month, when you make a payment, some of it goes towards interest and some of it goes towards principal. We want to figure out what these amounts are and then figure out what our new balance is. So on My Math Lab, this is what the question is going to look like. They give you the mortgage amount, the rate, and the number of years. So when you come across this problem, the very first thing you need to do is find the monthly payment. Okay? So I use the calculator program rather than the formula. So because this is a 30-year mortgage, that means each month, that's 12 months a year for 30 years, so that's 360 periods or 360 payments because that's 30 times 12. The interest rate in the problem said it was 3%. The mortgage amount was $165,000, so that's our present value. That's what we're starting with. Our monthly payment is what we're looking for. Our future value is 0. Since we're trying to pay this off, we're trying to get this amount down to 0. So I'm going to put future value is 0. And my PY, my CY is going to be 12 because it's 12 periods a year, once a month. Okay, so when I plug all that in on my calculator, I should get a monthly payment of $695.65. Now, to figure out what goes towards the interest and what goes towards the principal, we split up our monthly payment. Our monthly payment is $695.65. Some of that goes towards interest, some of it goes towards principal. For example, maybe $600, just as for round numbers and for argument's sake, okay, $600 might go towards the interest, where $95.65 might go towards the principal. So together they have to add up to the monthly payment. So for month 1, to figure out what the interest, we're going to use the simple interest formula. Interest is equal to principal times rate times time. My principal is my mortgage amount. That's what I'm starting with. Times my rate, this is a 3% APR, times 1 month, that's my time. Okay, so since this has got to be in years, 1 out of 12 months a year. So this is my time. When I multiply that all together, I get $412.50. Now, that's what goes towards my interest of my monthly payment. So if I know out of this amount right here, the $695.65, $412.50 is interest, then the other portion is what's going to go towards the principal. So all I do is subtract to find what goes towards the principal. So I take my monthly payment minus what I got from my interest, and I get $283.15. Then, to find my new balance, I take my current balance, which right now is the $165,000, and I subtract off what went towards the principal, which is $283.15. So when I subtract that, I get $164,716.85. So that means at the end of the month, this is my new mortgage balance because I knocked off $283.15. I jump into month 2. I just repeat the process. However, when I put my principal in, I'm going to use my balance from the previous month because I don't owe $165,000 anymore. This is my new balance. So this is what I'm going to put in for my principal. Then I still do times my rate times 1 out of 12 months a year. I multiply that together and I get $411.79. Then I have to subtract that from my monthly payment. Since this is my interest, if I subtract that from my monthly payment, I know how much goes towards my principal. So in this case, after I do my subtraction, I get $283.86. So then to find my new balance at the end of month 2, I take my old balance, which is this right here, and subtract what goes towards my principal, and I get my new balance for the end of month 2. Then I just repeat the process one more time using my new balance. So month 3, when I figure out my interest, I take my balance from the previous month because I no longer owe $165,000. I take my old balance from the previous month, multiply it by the rate, multiply it times the time, which is 1/12 of the year. I get my interest for the month. Then to figure out what goes towards the principal, I subtract my interest from my monthly payment. What's left over goes towards my principal. And then one more time to find my new balance at the end of month 3, I take my old balance and subtract my principal from this month, and I get my new balance at the end of month 3. Now we can continue to do this for all 360 payments of the mortgage, and when we do that, eventually we would get to 0 on the 360th. However, we really don't want to do that. That's a lot of arithmetic. Now, you can use your loan calculator to do all this. This is my loan calculator. Let me see if I can kind of squish it over so you can see it. I put in my mortgage amount for this problem was $165,000. We didn't have any down payments here, so I put in 0 for the down payment. So that leaves me with my mortgage amount of $165,000. I put in my annual rate of 3%. This is the same exact problem we were just doing by hand, but now we're using our loan calculator. So I put in 3%, and this is 30 years. So when we did this by hand, we found that our monthly payment was, let me see it again, $695.65. When you do this on your loan calculator, let me see if I can find my sheet because it printed on multiple sheets here. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry. Here we go. Here's my second sheet. Okay. When I look at my monthly payment and I put it in my Excel loan calculator, that's exactly what I get, $695.65. So this is why we set up our loan calculator for that previous activity. You can use this in the future for your homework and your other activities. Okay, now, when we did this by hand, we said the interest for the first month was $412.50. If I look at my loan calculator when I put all that in, this is the first month. If I come across over here, there's my interest, $412.50. We figured out that our principal, what goes towards the principal is $283.15. If I go back here, that's $283.15. And then our new balance is what we get when we take our old balance, which is the $165,000, and subtract off the principal, and we get this value right here, which is exactly what we got here when we did it by hand. So you can certainly use this when you're doing your My Math Lab homework. If you have to come up with a payment schedule, use your Excel loan calculator. As long as you set it up correctly, it should work, and that will save you a lot of trouble. If you don't have it working or you didn't do the assignment, you can do it just like this by hand. It takes a few minutes, but you can do it. So the whole idea is find the monthly payment. Each monthly payment is split up into interest and principal. You find each monthly interest by taking whatever your balance is, your current balance, times the rate times the time. Okay? And then you subtract that interest from your monthly payment to get what goes towards the principal. And that's what you subtract off your balance to get your new balance. Hopefully this helps, and if you have any more questions, let me know.